Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining. My name is Kristen, and today I'll be sharing with you a short and gentle flow to wake up the body and relieve any tension or tightness in any of those major muscles, your hips, your back, your hamstrings. Great practice for waking up in the morning or before bed. And whenever you're ready, today we'll get started lying down on our backs. So you can find your way down onto the mat, lying flat on your back in any position that feels good for you. Maybe Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of your feet to touch and letting your knees wrap out wide. Or maybe just lying in a Savasana, no pose. Palms can lay open towards the sky, or you can rest your palms anywhere on your body, maybe one over heart, one over belly, or both hands over your hips. Just finding a position that feels good for your body today. When you're ready, close down your eyes. Draw your awareness inward. Begin to notice the natural rhythm of your breath. Notice how you feel in your body today. And settling fully into a state of presence and giving yourself permission to set that analytical part of the mind in the back seat. Releasing any need to react, judge, criticize, or analyze any of the sensations that you notice throughout this practice. Slowly deepening your breath just a little bit fuller each cycle. And allow your whole backside to soften, feeling the back of your head sink heavy and releasing your whole spine from the back of your neck down to your tailbone. Softening all those little muscles in your face and your neck. Take a deep breath in and sigh that out. Do that again. Nice deep breath here, a little bit bigger this time. Finding just a little pause at the top of this breath. And sigh it out. One more time. Take a nice full breath in, finding that little pause at the top. And sigh it out. Reach your arms up over your head, stretch your legs out long, take a full body stretch. Let your spine lift up off of the ground. Take a deep breath here. And sigh that out. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a tight squeeze. And start to take some gentle movement, maybe just rocking side to side. Or drawing circles with your knees, massaging that low spine. Cultivating that steady flow of breath in and out through your nose. And begin to settle back to stillness. Take your knees wide apart, so still hugging them in towards the body, but now opening up the space, drawing knees closer to your side bodies. Let your spine settle on the ground, especially that low spine. Relax completely by your tailbone. Rest here for a couple breaths. Really softening all the muscles around your belly and your hips. Let your shoulders relax beneath you. And if it feels good, you can start to rotate your knees in circles towards one another, so they're moving in opposite directions. And taking as big or small of rotations at whatever pace feels good for you. If you're rotating, switch directions. And wherever you're at, bring your knees back together, hug them into your chest. Rock up and down your spine a few times, get a little back massage. And when you're complete, land in a seated position. Reach up tall with a nice full breath in. And cactus your arms on your breath out, open up your chest, draw your shoulder blades together on your spine, spread your fingers wide, breathe here. Feel that opening in your chest, your upper back, soften those hips, soften your hamstrings, and soften your face. Take a deep breath, and sigh that out. On your inhale, T-shape your arms, spread them wide, draw your hands back. And on your exhale, draw your right hand to your left knee. Get a nice grip. Use your next breath in when it comes to reach your left arm up tall. And on your exhale, lean to the right, stretching through that left side body and using that grip of your right hand onto your left knee for resistance in the stretch. Steady that breath. Let your shoulders draw down onto your back and really creating space between that left shoulder and left ear, feeling your neck elongate. Take a breath in and breathe out. On your next inhale, engage the core to come back up through center. As you exhale, twist to the left, lightly dropping those left fingertips down to the ground. Use a breath in when it comes to lengthen up through your spine. And on your exhale, engage the core to twist just a little bit deeper. Let those shoulders roll down the back, heart lifts up through your chest. One more time, take a deep breath here. Stay for that breath out. On your next inhale, come back through center, reach both arms up high. And on your exhale, cactus your arms, open up your chest, spread your palms out wide. Take one deep breath and sigh that out. On your inhale, T-shape your arms, spread them wide, pull your arms back. And on your exhale, draw your left hand to your right knee, getting a nice grip. Use your next breath in when it comes to reach that right arm straight up tall. And lean to the left on your breath out, stretching through that right side body, pressing that right knee into your left hand and pressing that right hip down into the ground. Stretch all the way through your neck, maybe allowing that right shoulder to open onto your back just a little bit more. Take a breath in and breathe out. Next inhale, when it comes, engage the core to come back up through center. And on your exhale, twist to the right, lightly dropping those right fingertips down behind your right hip, keeping little to no weight in that back hand. Use a breath in when it comes to grow tall through your spine. Lift that heart up through your chest. And on your exhale, engage the core to twist just a little bit deeper, letting those shoulders draw down your back. Do that one more time. Nice deep breath here. And stay for that breath out. On your next breath in, come back through center, reach up tall. On your exhale, bring palms to touch, draw your hands down to heart center. Take a moment here, feel your breath. And if it feels aligned to place an intention for your practice today, feel free to do so right now. Take a breath here and let that go. Gently release your hands. Come to a tabletop position. Stack your palms just below your shoulders and knees just below your hips. Spread your fingers wide across your mat. Use a breath in for cow pose. Drop your belly, lift your heart, lift your tailbone, look up. And cat pose as your exhale, round your spine, tuck your hips in towards your belly, chin to chest. Cow pose, drop your belly, lift your heart, elongate this breath just a little bit deeper. Find that pause. And cat pose as your exhale, round your spine, empty your lungs, press the earth away from you. Again, cow pose, nice deep breath, press into your palms, pull those shoulders back. And cat pose, empty, round your spine. Now start to move in whatever way feels good for you. You can keep flowing with that cat-cow. You can start to peek over one shoulder and then the other, or maybe rotating your hips and your head in circles. Just moving organically in any way that feels good for your body, taking that steady rhythm of breath with you. And take one more cycle in and out. And come back to a neutral spine. Find downward facing dog. Press your hips up and back. Take a brand new breath. And clear that out. Spread those fingers wide across your mat. Actively press the earth away from you. Reach your heart back towards your knees. Let your neck release and your head drop heavy. Gently lifting up through the pit of your belly. Steady that breath in and out through your nose. And feel free to take any movements that feel good for you. Pedaling out the knees, shaking out your hips. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. On your inhale, lift your heels up high. And as you exhale, tiptoe all the way up to meet your wrists, ragdoll. Plant your feet about hip width distance or wider and bow over your legs. Freedom to bend your knees as much as you'd like. And you can let your hands drop down towards the ground, or you can grab opposite hand to opposite elbow, whatever feels best for you. Connect with your breath. Feel free to invite any movement that feels good. I like to sway my spine side to side and bend one knee and then the other. You can shake your head yes and no, or rock your chest forward and back. Let those shoulders shrug just a little bit heavier. Release the back of your neck. Lift and spread all 10 toes, wake them up. And lightly relax them back down. Take a deep breath here. And a full breath out, let that go. Release your bind. Take a halfway lift on a breath in. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And forward fold, breathe it out. Do that again, halfway lift. Press your fingertips into your shins. This time stay here, breathe. Press down into your heels. Draw your belly button up into your spine. Feel your low spine activate. And gently draw your shoulder blades together on your back, expanding across your chest. Set your eyes to look just between your feet, feeling the back of your neck lengthen out so you've got one long line of energy from your tailbone straight through the crown of your head. Take a full breath here. And fold with that breath out. This time, rise all the way up with a big breath in. Reach tall, press into your feet. And forward fold on your breath out, nice and slow, no rush. Halfway lift on a new breath in. High plank, step back. Option to take chaturanga. Other ways, drop your knees, lower all the way down to your belly on your breath out. Cobra or up dog on a full breath in. Press into your palms, pull your shoulders back. Stay here, breathe. Peek over your right shoulder. Pull that left shoulder back. Take a breath. And breathe out. And peek over your left shoulder. Pull that right shoulder back. Take a breath. And breathe out. Come back through center. Take one breath in. Melt your chest to the ground as you breathe out. And we'll take 3 waves like this. On the inhale, lift your heart. Pull those shoulders back. And on your exhale, melt to the ground. Release your spine. Do that again. Cobra on the breath in. Lift up. Press into your palms. And melt to the ground on your breath out. One more time. Cobra on your inhale. Lift up. And tabletop to child's pose as your exhale. Bring your big toes to touch. Ground your forehead to the ground. Bow over your legs. Option to rest on your cheek if that feels better for you. Freedom to take your knees as wide as you'd like them. And always the option to take your elbows or your arms wider apart as well. Give that upper back some more room to release. Steady that breath. Take one deep breath here. And a full breath out. On your inhale, come to tabletop and find downward facing dog. Take a brand new breath and clear that out. On an inhale, when it comes, 3-legged dog, lift your right heel up high and step through low lunge. Plant that right foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down to the ground. Rise up. Option to plant your hands on that front knee, your hips, or even reach them up if that feels good. Steady your breath. Press down through that front heel, but lighten the grip of your toes. And check to make sure your hips are squaring that front edge of the mat. So maybe drawing that right hip back, left hip forward just a little bit. Making sure that front knee is stacked directly over your front heel. Allow your shoulders to soften down your back. Take a breath here. Easy breath out. As you're ready, find a half split stretch. Frame your hands around that front foot. Straighten your front leg and sink your hips back towards your left heel. Take a halfway lift on a breath in to lengthen through your spine. And bow with your breath out, taking that length with you. So rather than hunching over in the back to create a deeper fold, just focus on that length in the spine, reaching your heart towards your toes. Steady your breath. Feel free to allow that front knee to bend if it feels right. You can point and flex with your toes. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears. Take a breath here. And a full breath out. On your inhale, come back to that low lunge. Keep your hands framing that front foot. And on a breath in, when it comes, peel your right arm up into a twist. Steady your breath. Let that right shoulder open onto your back. Option to lift your back knee off of the ground if that feels good for you. Still pressing heavy into that front heel and engaging the core to deepen this twist. Take a breath wherever you're at. Stay for the breath out. One more time, take a full breath here. And on your exhale, drop that right hand to the ground. Drop your back knee if it's lifted. Step back, downward facing dog. Land here with a brand new breath. And clear that out. On your next inhale, when it comes, 3-legged dog, left side, lift that left heel up high. And on your exhale, step through low lunge. Drop that back knee to the ground. Lift up through your spine, either bringing your hands to your front knee, your hips, or reaching them up tall. Finding a position that feels good for you today. Steady your breath. And set your eyes at one non-moving point. Draw all of your awareness right here. Press into your front heel, lighten your toes, and let your shoulders soften down your back. Gently release any resistance in your body. See if you can deepen that breath. Take a full breath here. Soften with this breath out. As you're ready, frame your hands around that front foot. Find your half split stretch. Straighten out your front leg. Take a halfway lift on a breath in to lengthen through your spine. And bow with your breath out. Taking that length with you, reaching your heart towards your toes. Feel free to take any movements that feel good, maybe rocking your hips a little side to side, or pointing and flexing with your toes. Freedom to allow a bend in your front knee. Let those shoulders soften down your back, and steady that breath. Take a breath in, and bow with that breath out. On your next inhale, come back through that low lunge. Keeping your hands framed around that front foot. Use your next breath in when it comes to twist to the left, reaching that left arm up and open, expanding across your chest, and steady that breath. Still pressing down through that front heel. Spread your fingers wide and let that left shoulder open onto your back. Engage your core to deepen this twist. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more breath here. And on your exhale, plant that left hand back down to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Land with a brand new breath. And clear that out. And take any releasing movements that you'd like here. And when you are ready, return to a tabletop position, dropping your knees down to the ground, and find puppy pose. Walk your hands out towards the top edge of your mat. Melt your chest down to the ground. Option to prop up on your chin or rest your forehead down, whatever works best for you. Maybe placing a pillow or a block underneath your chest if that's helpful. Or try to stack your hips directly over top of your knees. So keeping that nice elongated stretch for your spine and your abdomen by having those hips up high. Steady your breath. Let your arms get heavy. Release any effort lingering in your biceps. Let your shoulders roll onto your back. Allow the weight of your chest to sink heavy to the floor. Release any effort lingering in your core muscles, letting go through your abdomen and your hip flexors. Take a deep breath in and sink heavy with this breath out. And very gently begin to walk yourself back into a tabletop position, taking a nice full breath on the way up. And use that first exhale for one big cat pose. Round your spine, tuck your tailbone in. Return to neutral on your breath in. And walk yourself into a seat. And extend your legs out long in front of you. Shake them out a little bit if you like. When you're ready, reach up on a breath in. And fold with that breath out. Lengthening through that spine, reaching your heart towards your toes. And letting those shoulders roll down your back. Soften the space between your collarbones and your ears. And either flexing or pointing with your toes, whatever feels best for you. Take a breath in. And bow with that breath out. And bring yourself back up through center. And roll all the way down onto your back. Take a happy baby. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Draw your inner thighs down towards your side bodies. And draw your tailbone down towards the ground, really lengthening out through that low spine. Gently pressing the shoulder blades down into the mat, feeling your upper back expand. Steady that breath. And feel free to rock a little side to side or take any movements that feel good. Take one deep breath in and clear that out. And gently release your feet, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a tight squeeze, and drop them over to the right for a supine twist. Option to look over your left shoulder and make sure to keep that left shoulder grounded on the mat. Keeping both shoulders pressing into the ground just helps to protect the spine from overextending. Notice your breath. Allow yourself to sink a little heavier into the support of the ground beneath you. Take a breath in and sink with that breath out. On your next inhale, engage your core to come back up through center and twist over to the left. Option to look over that right shoulder if it feels good. Steady that rhythm of breath in and out through your nose. Feel your head sink heavy into the ground. Release all the little muscles in your face and your neck. Soften across the front side of your chest. Sink a little heavier into that left side hip. Take a breath and let that go. On your next inhale, engage your core to come back up through center. Send your heels up towards the sky. Option to stay just like this with your low back resting on the ground, or you can place a block or a pillow at your low spine to raise those hips up a little bit. If you'd like to venture into shoulder stand, walking your hands up your back, stacking heels over knees over hips in one line. And if you feel called to progress into plow pose or deaf yogi, please feel free. Taking just a few moments here to get inverted and reverse the blood flow, letting all that blood from your feet and your legs rush back towards your heart and your brain, and make a nice little break for your nervous system. When you're ready, in your own perfect time, begin to find your way back down to the earth, gently rolling one vertebrae at a time if your hips are lifted into the air. Land on the earth and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a tight squeeze. Take any final movements you'd like to release. And as you're ready, begin to find your way into your final resting pose of choice. Freedom to stretch out, take up space. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Release your whole backside. Surrender all of your efforts. Savasana. deepen your breath in. And begin to draw your awareness back into your physical body. Inviting some gentle movement, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe rocking your head side to side. And take a full body stretch. Reach your arms up over your head. Take a nice big breath in. And sigh that out. And very gently roll onto your right side, fetal position. I'll invite you to take just a few moments here before walking away from your practice today to check in with your body. Notice anything that's shifted from the time that you landed on your mat. And honoring the shift, the difference that you can make in just a short amount of time of conscious effort, presence, and intention. As you're ready, bring yourself to a comfortable seat. Draw your hands together at heart center. Taking these last few moments now to seal the practice with gratitude. Sending deep love and appreciation into your body for the blessing that it is. Sending deep love and appreciation into the world around you. And maybe calling back on that intention that you placed for your practice today. And embodying that through the rest of your day. Take a breath here. And let that go. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope that this practice brought great nourishment to your mind, body, and spirit, and gave you some fresh energy to take with you wherever you're going next. To stay up to date with new content, as well as events, retreats, and ceremonies all over the world, be sure to follow Botanic Body Yoga on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or check out my website, www.botanicbod.yoga. See you next time.